My name is Herb. I'm an alcoholic. Welcome to our very robust Tuesday night 12-step workshop. I think I said I'm an alcoholic, and this call is being recorded. I'm inviting you to pray the set-aside prayer. Having a clean white slate so the Spirit can enter in, whatever that means to you, and deposit new information, but especially a new experience, both new information translated into a new experience. God, please set aside everything that I think I know about myself, my unmanageability, the 12 steps in you, for an open mind and a new experience with myself, my unmanageability, the 12 steps, and especially you. Let me ask you to join me in the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I want to give us a little bit of a context tonight, because we're going to move on in the assignments tonight. I'm not going to do any new teaching tonight, but we're going to move on. So where we're at is in step 4, which is a moral inventory. You could read the step on your own. That's what it says in the step. When I looked up the word moral, one of the definitions that I liked was values. Bill wants us to take a look and see what the truth is, what the facts are, what reality is. Most of us, actually probably all of us, but I never like to make black and white statements other than that statement itself, do not see reality as it is. Psychological principle, basically, comes out of research. Most people see reality as they are. It's a projection onto reality of what they expect, what they believe, what they've been taught, what their experiences are. Most people don't know that. They think they're looking at objective reality and interpreting it objectively. They make decisions, they have thoughts, they have feelings, they have perceptions based all on that information. And the problem with the world, and I know you can relate to this, not personally just, of course, personally, but when you watch the news or you look at history, most people perceive it incorrectly, some more than others, because we have instincts. There's 3 basic instincts, and it comes from our brain stem, that first brain: fight, flight, and freeze. These are biochemical reactions. We cannot change them. We can contain them, we can direct them, but they're going to happen as the result of our perception of threat. It's built into us from millions of years of evolution. Now, Bill had the insight when he was 20 years sober, writing the 12 and 12. He called it instincts gone awry in the 4th step. He didn't use that language in the big book because he didn't know that psychology principle. He hadn't really studied human behavior, which he did once he got sober. But he did write in the big book what our reactions are to these instincts for survival: anger, fear, dishonesty. He used different words to describe the emotion of resentment, which is what we've been looking at for several weeks. I almost said a couple of months. I think that's true. All resentment is, and what it is anger that we felt in the initial stimuli, the event or circumstances that we held. We never allowed it to go away. We never allowed it to go away. That was very precisely said intentionally. We held it. We created it. We held it. Resentment, we didn't create our anger. That's an emotional reaction to perceived threat. Coming from the limbic system, that second brain that we have. We have three brains. The brain stem that sits right on top of the spinal cord. The first brain, in the brain that we know when we have a look at taking the top off a head. That first brain is the limbic system, the middle brain. It's where all of the emotions take place. I'm oversimplifying it, of course. And Bill uses the word resentment to express the word for anger that's held for a day or a week or a decade or a half a century. We've had people on the call talking about anger that they've held since the original stimulus, this original event, for 50 years. And all of the consequences of that. I mean, the evidence is in. Tonight, I'm going to give you the assignment to take a look at the fear inventory. That's assignment number 15. It's just a page. It starts a little bit on page 67. Most of it's on page 68. Read and highlight that. Take a look at the Way of Life document. Read and highlight it, understanding what the book says to the best of your ability. I'll unpack it next week. I'll give you the assignment next week. You've already listed some fears in the third column. You have two places in the fourth column that you've listed fears, questions 4 and 8. You don't need to do anything with any of that right now, but you are prepared to do some work in the fear inventory. It's much simpler than the resentment inventory. As a result, we'll go through it fairly quickly, probably maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks, depending. I'm kind of making it up as I go along with this new experience of going deep and broad, but experiential with you. I'll come back to that when we talk about resentments in a minute. Then after that, we'll take a look at sex. Now, I put shame in there. Bill doesn't use the word shame in the big book at all right? But it's the word that I was given by a professional, a psychologist, as the emotion to represent dishonesty. That is the hiding, the freeze phenomena. For me personally, it rang my bell because shame is my primary defense mechanism. I did not know that until I was about 50 years old doing this work and doing some supplemental work in related areas. I never thought that shame was an emotion. I thought it was a reaction, but I didn't think it was an emotion. I'm very clear, at least I am, that it's an emotion now on the same level as the emotion of anger and the emotion of fear. It's our way of hiding. All of us have all of this. Each of us has a dominant. Some people are anger-based as the predominant default position. Some people are fear-based as the dominant default position. Some people are hiding-based. They don't fight, they don't run, they just hunker down like the turtle going into the shell, or the chameleon changing colors. It's a survival mechanism. You know, at least once I saw this, there was very little embarrassment about it. There was like curiosity. These are very human survival defense mechanisms or unhealthy coping strategies. I think the current vocabulary is. But it builds our false self. This is a mask that we're wearing that we don't know we're wearing because it's been organically grown by us over our lifetime from birth till the time we're beginning to look at this. I was 48 years old when I began looking at it. The mask, I believe, was primarily dissolved over the next 10 years, but of course, there's always remnants of it. And it's a default position. So if we don't pay attention, of course, we'll rebuild this Hollywood storefront that we want people to see us as and we want it as a cover for whatever deficiencies we don't want people to see. I can identify these obstacles in me. That's the whole point of the fourth step, is to name it. And you've heard perhaps or read the psychologists that very glibly but accurately say, when you name it, you tame it. It's great. It's kind of a motivator. I don't want to be resentful. I don't want to be fearful. I don't want to be hiding and dishonest and shame-based as a way of living. But everybody's like that. One of the disciplines that I'll explain very lightly, light touch, in the sixth step is the Enneagram. Enneagram. Ennea in Greek is 9. Yeah, it's the number 9. And there are 9 personality types in this personality theory. I'm not going to teach about it. I'm just giving you sort of a little advanced context for where we're going to go with this. In character defects, in step 6, there are 3 primary sources of our character defects. These instincts: anger, fear, and dishonesty, resentment, fear, and shame. Every one of us has each of these. As I mentioned, each one of us has a dominant one. And then there are 3 different variations on each of them. 3 times 3 is 9. I want to understand who I am, how I'm built, how I'm constructed, because then I can consciously manage, modify, so that I can become a better human being. That's the whole purpose of what I'm talking about right now. That's the whole purpose of me doing this work on myself and then exposing you to it. I want to know better so that I can do better. This isn't just self-help or self-development, as you know. That's where we started in step 1. I need the help of a power other than myself. But we looked at resentments. We made a list. We looked at the reasons, and there might be multiple reasons for each individual. I suggested that you limit it to 20 of the number ones. I suggested that you limit it to 3 reasons per each of the 20. In fact, if you could get away with it in the sense of it would be satisfactory for you to have an experience, not to reduce your work. I'm not interested in reducing your work. I want you to have a full experience, but most of you can have a full experience by doing more contained work rather than multiple worksheets. I'm much into quality rather than quantity. But if you did 20 in item number 1, names of people, principles, institutions, and you did 3 for each of them, you would have 60 worksheets, column 3, column 4, if you followed my direction of a maximum of 3 per number 1. 3 times 20. So if you have item number 2, only one reason for each of the 10 or 20, then you're going to have 10 or 20 column 1 or column 2 worksheets, column 3 or column 4 worksheets, I'm sorry. The column 3 worksheet is critical. It came to me progressively. It wasn't all laid on me at once. It was laid out over 2 different journeys through the steps. But that's just my history. It delayed my full experience, and that's why I bring the full instructions to you so that you can have a more robust experience this first time through the steps, using this extended material in the 3rd column. Keep in mind, though, that's the key. It's right at the top of the worksheet, beliefs. In the same way, the column 4 worksheet is about motives. Here I have listed responsibility. The whole point of column 3 is to see what my beliefs are and to challenge them. Are they realistic, or are they fanciful, delusional, a lie? Don't go in there believing it's all a lie. That would not be a set-aside attitude or prayer. Go in there looking at what are my beliefs. And I've mentioned to you the easy way to do that is asking yourself, should. I should, you should, they should, the world should. That reveals very quickly what your belief is. And then just hold it and challenge it. Is it a fact? Is it objective? Is it true? Does it reflect reality as reality is? Or is it been developed as some type of a default survival response on your part, and that it's not true at all? Or it might have been true at one point, it's not true anymore. But the 4th column, I call the turnaround column, because it reveals to me my motives. That word is at the top of the worksheet. And most of it is attempting to reveal your responsibility, not for the event. Please hear this. In most instances, especially when you're under 18, it's an arbitrary number of maturity and adulthood, legally, all right? I'm just arbitrarily using 18. Most of what happens before you're 18 is not your responsibility, especially if it's about abuse. But your reaction to it after 18 is your responsibility. And that's why the motive at the end is, why are you holding this resentment 6 months later, 6 years later, 6 decades later? And you're holding it for a reason. Otherwise, you wouldn't be holding it, because it's corrosive like sulfuric acid and just as damaging to you, not just physically and emotionally, but spiritually. And that's what Bill says. Fatal, actually. Number 1, fatal. And as a result of that, we take a look at the deep resentment, the self-esteem. What are the shoulds? We take a look at the deep resentments. This is what I really wanted to talk about, the place that we looked at the prayer that Bill gives us as a practice to remove those deep resentments. And my personal experience, which I'm not going to repeat here, but I was given freedom from each one of those resentments so that they went away and never returned. That's freedom. This is what we're looking at. But we need to identify the deep ones, begin the prayer practice. Keep in mind what the motive is. You're not praying for the perpetrator, the person who may have abused you or betrayed you or abandoned you. You're not praying. You're welcome to do that. It's a wonderful, healthy spiritual practice. But that's not the suggestion in the big book. The suggestion in the big book is that you pray for yourself. You pray for your healing. You pray for exorcism. Please hear that. You pray for excision. Different word. Excision is surgical removal of the cancer in you. Exorcism is spiritual intervention to remove the devils in you. I don't mean from a religious standpoint, but I do mean from a spiritual standpoint. Column 4 is really taking a confrontational look at reality. Those first 5 questions are all about me. Remember on page 62, Bill said selfishness, self-centeredness, that's the root of my thinking, the root of my doing, the root of my fear, the root of my dishonesty, the root of my responsibility. I make a decision, conscious or unconscious, I'm still responsible for it. I've mentioned this before, but in this context, I think it's worth mentioning again. I came to a real existential, deep understanding. I do not have a part in my resentments. I have 100% ownership. No circumstance and no person created my resentment. I did. I created my reaction, and I held the energy, that negative energy, more than, I'll make it up, 24 hours. It's totally arbitrary. But it's longer than the reaction that is both biological and psychological to the event or circumstances. That's our survival reaction. That's normal, that's natural. But then to hold it beyond a period of time, that's resentment. And that's dysfunctional. But it's natural. Most everybody, I would say almost everybody, I don't want to be black and white again, has a resentment at some time in their life. Mature people are able to process it in light of a broader picture, and maybe through their religion or through their therapy or through their life circumstances or through their partnership or through their own education, they're able to process it because they've become adults and mature, and they know that there's no real benefit to it. But we get stunted in our emotional growth at the time that we engage in addiction. So this is the slide that I showed you originally as we were going into step 4. I'm showing it again because I want to reinforce this picture of what we're doing, where we're at, why we're doing it. We're identifying and analyzing the various forms of self-centeredness. That's the root. That's why it's at the bottom of the slide. It's the source of our resentments. Resentment is the fruit of the root. This next phase is going to take a look at fears. Self-centeredness is the root of the fruit.
God, please help me see my false beliefs and forgive others. When I resent my business partner for reducing my equity in our business, which is basically my share of income,
Yeah.
my self-esteem, I'm the best partner you could have, extremely talented and competent with all business aspects. And I put of our company, but it's actually of any business aspects, whether I know anything about it or not.
All right.
And my fear is I am not that competent.
Okay. Let's cross over now then to the fourth column. Your perceived.
Okay. My perceived role is disrespected partner, unjustly deprived of, part ownership in company. We start off 50-50 and he's knocked that down.
All right. So disrespected and disadvantaged partner. I like to keep it with a few words so that it's crisp. Does that work? Mm-hmm. Is the word disadvantaged accurate?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, money is an advantage.
Yeah, no, he cheated you, right? By your interpretation. Number one. So how do you behave today when in fact you are feeling this resentment?
Yes, for number one, self-seeking, I argue with him that I deserve more once in a while. Something will come up maybe. How
long ago did you leave the partnership?
I didn't leave the partnership. I just reduced my share of it.
Well, excuse me, wait a minute. Are you currently in partnership with him?
Yes, I talk with him every morning.
Oh, so you're in business with them. This is an ongoing thing. And yes. In the beginning, you had a partnership that was formalized in writing with an attorney's approval?
Of course not. I'm not that responsible.
Oh, well, the plot thickens.
We were good friends.
Yeah,
he's sober almost as long as I am.
I'm not looking for editorial comments. I'm looking for answers to my questions. All right. So,
yes.
How long ago did you create this partnership?
It's about 7-8 years ago.
Okay, let's just say 8 years ago. And see, this is a place now where we get some facts so that then when you're unpacking it, I can make appropriate comments. 8 years ago, you created this partnership. And what were the percentages of the partnership?
It was 50-50.
Got it. And it's not in writing.
Correct.
Okay. So you have an ongoing partnership, active relationship with them. You're still in business. And on a regular basis, you argue with him.
I wouldn't say I argue regularly. It's occasionally.
Let's not quibble with the words, okay? You said it yourself. You argue with them, all right? Let's not try to defend yourself here. All right? All right. Number two. When you have this feeling of being disrespected and disadvantaged, what is the source coming from self-centeredness? What is the self-centered thinking?
Well, I think about all the time I put in doing my work for the company. I think about what I did to get the company off the ground because I financed it and I helped him out personally, financially, and things like that. I mean, I just think about that.
And you did all of that financing and all that work, and you don't have anything in writing.
I work on a handshake. I trust people. That's why I'm an Al-Anon.
Well, okay, but when did he start disrespecting and disadvantaging you?
Right about the time the company started generating profits to be distributed.
You want to tell me whether that is a year ago or 7 years ago?
It was about 4 years ago.
So 4 years ago, the company started making money and he started disadvantaging you with regard to the distribution of profit.
Yes.
At that time, did you secure legal help?
We talked about it.
No,
and
don't.
No, the answer is no.
Thank you. All right. And have you had any type of engagement professionally with an attorney to resolve this problem since in the last 4 years?
Other than asking a friend about it, no.
So the answer is no.
Correct.
You have to hear my words. I said a professional legal arrangement. You ask a friend, you're going to get free advice, and that's what it's worth. All right. Okay, so you've been disadvantaged for 4 years and you have taken no action to resolve it.
Correct.
What's underneath that?
Fear.
Of
The
what?
guy's a fear of being basically removed completely from the company.
Sure, because you got nothing in writing.
Yes.
Oh, number 3, where are you being dishonest?
He really does the work that makes the company go, and my contribution is relatively minor, even though I don't want to think so.
All right, all right. That took a direction I wasn't expecting. Okay, all right.
Why, what were you expecting?
I'm not sure, but you've been defending yourself all along, and you obviously didn't defend yourself here. You know, yeah.
We get to the truth.
All right. Well, have you? Well, I mean, the truth could be that you financed it and that was the understanding in the beginning. So he still, from an objective standpoint, has disadvantaged you, but you're rationalizing it down by saying, I moved out from the area and I don't really contribute anymore. So it would be justified for me to take a lesser cut of the deal, but you still haven't got anything in writing.
Well, the disadvantaging started while I was still in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
And
and you moved
again.
And you moved anyway.
Well, yes, I mean, I'm still doing the same thing. You know, the point I'm making here is that he really was doing all the work.
Yeah.
And what I was doing was, you know, more of a function that he could hire somebody for, which he throws in my face a lot.
All right. And you left Los Angeles without it being resolved. And what were you thinking?
That it would continue the way it's going. And
you mean you're being disadvantaged?
Yes. Well, I'm still advantaged to the extent that I.
No, let me tell you what I heard, what you said. I don't think you were aware of what you said. I left Los Angeles and it would continue going the way it was going. And I think you meant that it would be a fair deal. And quite frankly, the way it was going when you left Los Angeles was a disadvantaged deal. So did you actually leave Los Angeles knowing full consciously well that you were going to continue to be disadvantaged and at his mercy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you did it with open eyes.
Yes. Well, my dishonesty here is that, I mean, we're getting a little ahead. My dishonesty is that I'm being disadvantaged. The reality is I'm making good money for what I do.
So, all right. Let's not get it in front of ourselves a little bit. Number 4, where's the fear?
I'm afraid that I will be, kicked out of the company, that he doesn't need me, sure, and that he will find somebody else to do what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Number 5, what did you write there for your role and responsibility?
Then my contribution, I refused. Well, it's both. I refused to recognize the reality that he held all the cards. In other words, he was the one that did all the actual work. And it's still my current one that I still refuse to recognize reality, although that's turning out to be more on paper now that we do this together.
Well, in the beginning, the first fly in the ointment, as I see it, is you didn't get it in writing.
Of course.
Yeah.
That is
not in writing. It doesn't happen in the courts.
You'd think I'd learn after half a dozen of those
Oh, this is
situations.
not your first rodeo in which you've been
Of course not.
disadvantaged. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, that thickens the soup a little, doesn't it? Yeah. Did you write anything else in number 5?
Sickens or sickens the soup. No.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Number 5 was just the same thing. Still refusing to recognize reality is my current reaction.
Yeah. Yeah. So you choose to live in anger and fear and not resolve it in some fashion.
Well, I don't see a way of resolving it other than, resigning or continuing. That's my 2 choices.
Okay.
And my 3rd choice is to get rid of the damn resentment and just enjoy what I'm doing.
Okay. All right. Let's skip 6 and 7 and go to number 8. Any additional fears?
So I'm unwilling to stand up for myself.
Yep.
I'm willing to be a doormat.
Yep. Yep. There's no right or wrong answer. These are just feelings. So that's okay.
Yes.
Number 9, character defects.
And that's a whole nother thing. Unwarranted pride, arrogance, defensiveness, and with 2 stars, greed.
Okay. I put down naive and unrealistic.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was confirmed when you said that this is like the multiple time that you've been taken advantage of because you didn't put it in writing.
I had documents prepared and I was afraid to present them to him.
Yeah.
He is such a bully.
Yeah, well, whatever. The reason is you don't have documents, right?
Yes.
Number 10, what is the benefit or value to you of holding this resentment for these 7 years, 4 years at least?
It makes me feel okay when I make mistakes, and it helps make me be dishonest that maybe I don't deserve the income I am getting from the ownership that I have.
All right. All right. Also,
and you mentioned shame before, and I think that might have something to do with it.
Yeah. 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 I put down false empowerment. When you have anger, you have a certain amount of power, but it's false power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether that's true for you or not, but so
yes. Yeah, I think so. That sounds right. So
at the top, you put disrespected and disadvantaged partner. What's the truth at the bottom?
I'm a greedy partner who is not even worth what I am getting.
Well, that may or may not be true in terms of the objective partnership, but it doesn't explain the anger. So what's the truth? You said, I'm angry because he disrespects me. I'm angry because he disadvantages me. Why are you angry? What's the truth here?
The truth is that he's standing up for his part in the company.
We're not interested in him one bit. I'm interested in you. What's the truth about you? You have a belief that you're disrespected and disadvantaged. What's the truth?
That I'm greedy and not worth it.
Well,
that's what I got. I mean,
yeah,
that's why I need help.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not for me. It doesn't crisply connect to the turnaround. You've mentioned many times that you're fear-based, and and you're subject to intimidation. So I disrespect myself, and I disadvantage myself because I won't confront the situation. I hold this negative energy, which doesn't do anything to anybody except it rots you out.
I can see that, and there's a lot in my background that would help create that.
Yeah. So it's really that that for me it gives that crisp turnaround. If in fact I feel disrespected, the truth is I'm disrespecting myself. If I feel disadvantaged by this person, the truth is I'm disadvantaging myself. So it's a complete opposite.
Yes.
Does that make sense for you?
Yes, it does. And I'm not real surprised to hear that.
Yeah. All right. What was your overall experience in writing it and now then in talking it through?
It's a little deeper that I'm, just not facing reality to the extent that I
That
could.
would be the bottom line on it. Yeah, that's probably been a theme in your history, right?
I make up my own reality as I go along. Yeah, that's not worked too well for me.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. Thank you, Herb.
Thanks very much.
I want to talk about my resentment. My column 3 is towards my brother, who bought my mother's home since he was living there following her death, and cut my sisters and I off from, closure by going through the stuff in the home. He doesn't want us in his home is what it amounts to.
All right. So there was a death of your mother and your brother took financial advantage of you and your sister.
He didn't take financial advantage. We finally got him to buy the home, but we thought we were going to be able to come in and go through the things like my mom's jewelry.
Wait. I do not want to get tied up in the weeds. I want a 3-word phrase as to why you're angry at your brother.
Couldn't participate in the settling of the home's contents. That's
perfect. Right there. You got it. A little more than 3, but it's right on the money. That's good. That's your resentment. All right. Yep. So who are you, Self-Esteem?
Well, I'm the big sister and I know how we ought to do this. And so here's what we need to do, and y'all need to follow my instructions.
All right. And your fear is?
That's not going to happen.
All right. Let's go to pride and see what you wrote there.
I said that, I wish the family could see my brother treating me as someone who knows how we ought to be handling this situation.
And your fear?
That's not going to happen.
All right. So now move over to the 4th. Did you do a 4th column?
Yes.
All right. Move over to the 4th column. What's your perceived role?
Today I would say I'm disappointed in reality. How's that work?
No, I don't think so. You have a resentment towards your brother because he kept you from doing something that you wanted to do.
Yep.
And so give me 3 words that describes that. The role that you're playing in this drama of theater, that you're on a stage with your brother.
Okay, I'm a disappointed sister.
Mild, but it would work. Let's go with that. Disappointed sister. Actually, it sounds like you were a disadvantaged, or you were a restricted, or you were a shunned, or you were ignored.
I like disappointed and restricted.
All right, let's go. I think it's more than disappointed. Because yeah. I'm going to put that down just so I keep track. Restricted and disappointed sister. And when you feel that feeling, how do you behave? What did you write for number 1?
So what I put was that I'm very circumspect with him. I'm wary and I'm unwilling to engage. Is that a behavior?
Yeah, actually it is. Wary and unwilling to engage. I like it very much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Avoiding. I avoid.
Yep.
Yeah, that's excellent. All right. So, and what's the unhealthy thinking underneath that?
I'm completely disregarding the fact that my brother owns the house now. It's his property.
All right. I want my own way despite the facts.
Yes.
Yeah. And you were clear about that from your fear in the self-esteem. You said, you know, I really know what I'm doing and nothing's going to change. So they're not going to accept that I'm the queen and they need to respond.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Number 3, dishonest.
I said I deluded myself in believing that he would want us to help him go through stuff, or would want help in going through.
Did you ask him?
You know, that's probably it was offered, and he said, I'll take care of it myself.
Oh, you're saying you offered unilaterally and he said, thanks, I don't want your help.
Right. I'll take care of it.
All right. So how are you being dishonest then?
Because I'm not accepting the fact that that's the way that is.
That would be excellent. I'm not accepting his rights.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. 4, fear.
That I won't have the closure that I desire in this.
Yeah. Yeah. 5, responsible.
One more time, I thought things, this time it'll be different. I mean, there's been other instances of similar disappointments. My brother's not really acting any differently than he has in the past as an adult. He doesn't want us in this home. That's the truth.
So you have a history of tension with your brother.
Yep, unfortunately.
Well, it is unfortunate. Now, let's go back to your mother dying. Did she have a will?
Yes.
And was the will respected in terms of the distribution?
Yes.
And so he bought the house because he was allowed to do that.
Correct.
With all of the contents without any reference to anybody else.
Correct.
Well, all right. You see where I'm going with that?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. And so again, what did you write for number 5? I didn't make a note.
That one more time I thought something, it would be different.
Oh yeah, I was naive and strong word, but delusional.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Skip 6 and 7, go to 8 about additional fears. Did you write some?
One of the things I've realized with the program is that I want, in order for me to be happy, everybody else needs to be happy.
Is that your job to make them happy?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, okay. But you would just like them to be happy in order for you to be happy.
Yes.
All right. So what fear is that?
I'm not going to, it's not going to happen my way.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You've said that many times. That's right. Yes. I'm not going to get my way.
Right.
Yeah. Life is not going to turn out the way I want it. Right. Number 9, character defects.
I'm selfish, thoughtless, and self-deceiving. Or I can.
Well, I can't relate to self-deceiving, yes, in that sense, but the rest is up to you. Yeah, sure. Again, a little naive with regard to your brother, right?
Yeah.
I wonder, does that happen in other relationships too?
I'd have to think about that.
Well, I'm asking you to. That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, rhetorical question. Yes, sir.
Number 10, what's the benefit? How long ago was did your brother buy the house?
3 years.
All right. So you've been wrestling with this negative energy for about 3 years.
Yep.
All right. What's the benefit to you for holding it?
There's no value to me.
No, there is a value. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it.
It justifies my anger.
Yes, maybe. Although I think it empowers you to be right.
Okay.
I'm right. And this anger gives me the energy to hold it. Does that work for you?
Yeah. Yeah. I like
Okay.
power.
So at the top, you said, he restricted me and disadvantaged me. What's the truth at the bottom?
But I'm responsible for accepting the reality of my brother's nature.
The answer is yes, you are, but it doesn't turn around the reason that you have generated this feeling of being restricted and disadvantaged.
How about
Yeah, go ahead.
I've restricted myself
Yeah.
because I have let this situation control me. I mean, have
Yes.
power.
Yes. That's a nice way. I don't have crisp words for it, but that's a good description of it. That you've disadvantaged and restricted yourself because you want it your way.
Yep.
And
Okay.
you're just not acknowledging facts and reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I need to look for, is where I'm not acknowledging facts and realities and my resentments, it sounds like.
Probably in all, I would suggest that you just kind of do a panoramic view of your current, you don't have to go back after, but at your current relationships and see if there's some of that dynamic in all of it. Yeah, it might be helpful. All right.
Thank you for your time.
Column 3, it's about my son.
Yes.
And, I was very happy to hear you talk about the 3 parts of the brain tonight.
Oh,
Yesterday when I was talking to him and I had that infusion of, like what I said, poison, it felt like.
yeah.
I felt like, why did I let that happen? Because I'm trying to control myself, but I don't think that's something that I was in control of.
Correct.
Okay. It's not a good feeling.
I think they call it the autonomic nervous system. I've never really understood it, but it sounds like the automatic nervous system.
Right.
And so, yes, I think it's a biochemical reaction. Now, then once we become conscious of it, then it's our role to manage the reaction itself.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, but so you have a column 3 here.
Yeah. When I resent Alex for being mean, rude, unloving, unhelpful, disrespectful, hanging up on me, thinks he knows what I'm thinking better than I do.
And who are you, self-esteem?
Self-esteem, I'm a loving, devoted, and supportive mother who tried to give my son the best life I could under difficult circumstances.
Yes. And you have a column 4?
Yes.
Oh, what was the fear? I'm sorry.
The fear was that I made mistakes along the way, and he's not dealing with important things he needs to know in case something happens to me.
All right. And now we're going to go to column 4.
Okay.
And I know the answer, but the first question I'm going to ask you, just because everybody else needs to know this, how old is your son?
31.
Yep. Exactly. All right. That sets a tone for the rest of this work now. So
I know.
let's see. What is your perceived role?
My perceived role is misunderstood, disrespected, unloved, unappreciated, and abused.
I like disrespected and abused. I'm going to narrow it down a little bit. I mean, that's just for our conversation. Those words are all good. Those words are all good. When you feel disrespected and abused by your son, how do you behave? Self-esteem. I mean,
I try.
self-seeking, number 1.
Self-esteem.
No, I'm sorry. No, number 1, self-seeking.
I feel sad, crushed, confused, unheard, still stunned about it, worried for him. He is escaping reality. I want to wake him up. I don't know about his fiance.
Okay, so from a behavioral standpoint, you go into a swamp quicksand of worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. About him.
Yes.
All right. Number two.
And sadness.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What?
And sadness. I feel
Yeah.
sad that he's so mean to me. I don't understand it.
Right. Right. Number two.
Selfish.
What unhealthy thinking is the source of this?
I feel abandoned.
No, we're not asking you about your feelings. We're asking you about your thinking, unhealthy thinking. I think
guess
I'm abandoned. Maybe I think I'm abandoned. That would actually work.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
I'm abandoned.
Go ahead. That's an unhealthy thought. You're not being
Yes.
abandoned, but go ahead.
I want better for him, or is that not?
Well, is that an unhealthy thought on your
No.
part?
No.
Huh?
No, I don't think so. Although it's none of my business anymore.
Well, the whole thing is he's 31 years old. He's an adult man.
Right.
Why are you being his mother right now? Why are you interfering and attempting to teach him and correct him and manage him?
Well, I'm really not. I'm just trying to talk to him. And if I say one thing.
What are you talking about when you try to talk to him? I would love to hear that conversation.
Okay. The last time he got so angry at me.
Why did he get angry?
Why did he get angry?
What were you saying?
I said, did you have a good time on your trip? Do you wish you had gone earlier?
There you go, mama. All right.
Is that bad to say, do you wish?
Oh, yeah. That's a very corrective thing. Yeah. If you had a good time, you could have had a better time if you went early and listened to your mother.
No, I didn't tell him to go earlier, but I just wondered if.
That's exactly the way I would have taken it.
Wow.
Sure. You're making a comment about his schedule.
I just was making light.
You're meddling. You're meddling.
How do I talk to him? Like, do I have to say nothing? I mean, I feel like every time I say something, he explodes at me.
Well, he could have a problem with you that is unresolved, and that's a story for a different day. Right. Are you in Al-Anon?
Yes.
And do you talk about this to your sponsor?
Yes.
And what does she say?
She said, go to Herb K.
All right.
Did. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she says I make him my higher power.
Well, you're also overly invested in his welfare. You're asking questions that are none of your business.
What can I talk to him about? I mean, I want to have a
genuine. You could. I don't know, but probably be sincerely interested in his life, not your judgment about it.
Yeah, I have been judgmental.
Yeah.
I have. But
well, the question you asked him was actually judgmental. There was a piece of, and I might have been primed for it, but there was a piece that offended me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is really like so confusing to me because I feel like I'm just making conversation.
Yeah, you're overly invested in him. Do you have other children?
No.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. He's the focus of your attention. Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't let me in. He doesn't help me. Like I had big boxes of his in my garage. He wouldn't come move them. I mean, he
won't come move them.
Well, he finally did in a fit of anger.
Well,
I've had these boxes in my garage for 12 years that I didn't want. And I've been asking him for a while to come get him. When he finally did, he was all pissed off at me. Like I did something.
I understand that it was maybe inconvenient to him, but quite frankly, you have a right to your garage space. And if he didn't want to do it, why didn't you just have storage people come over and pack it up and deliver it to his driveway?
Because he doesn't really have a driveway. He lives in a building, and people told me, oh, give it to Goodwill. I couldn't do that.
No, that would have been not your business to do.
Right.
Oh, you could have threatened to do that by putting it out on your driveway saying, the Salvation Army will be here in a week and they'll pick it up. If you want it, you're welcome to come get it.
Yeah, I'm afraid to do things like that.
Oh,
Like,
well, there you go. That
I am
brings us,
afraid of him. Like
that's
I'll lose
number
it.
4. What did you write in number 4 for fear?
My son is not growing up, that all the weed and video games have messed him up. He's lost his sense of reality. I'll never get him back.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All legitimate fears, but you don't have him.
No. I mean, the relationship that I had before when he was 16. I mean,
That's ancient history,
I
girl.
know. Yeah,
Yeah. Ancient hit. You're living in a fantasy world.
I am.
He's made decisions and he's living his life, unfortunately, in a very unhealthy way.
Yeah.
And I think you all in Al-Anon have a wonderful phrase, detach with love.
Right.
It's
And
hard.
hard.
That's hard.
And
But
that's what I've been trying to do.
yeah, well, okay.
But I mean, then I asked him if he wishes he had gone to his trip earlier, and all of a sudden I'm in the doghouse as usual.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
again.
You're implying he made a bad decision.
Okay, I didn't see it that way.
I understand that, but that's
And
why we're talking about it, because you don't see the implications of what you're thinking and feeling and saying.
Yes, I know. And I'm glad you pointed that out to me. I thought it was nothing but,
You thought it was neutral.
yeah,
Yeah. But that's where you get in trouble. So I don't know how, talk to your sponsor and your Anon friends, because they've all got, I'm sure, lots of experience and wisdom in this area. What did you write for dishonest in number 3?
number 3, dishonest. Oh, I keep thinking this time our conversation is going to go better. He will be kind and reasonable, logical. That's wishful thinking and denial.
Well, probably because it's been years since he's been that way.
Right.
Yeah. And he's not going to get better as long as he's connected to the marijuana.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me so sad, because he has stunted his growth.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a very smart guy, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Sitting at home like everybody. And
yeah. There's millions of them. There's millions of them out there, addicted to some form of drug or addicted to some type of technology. And they're completely isolated from living their life and from having a rich, full life themselves. It's a tragedy of our times.
it is. And in a way, I think I blame his girlfriend, he's been with for almost 13 years.
Yeah.
Because I feel, and I might be, well, I tried to plan an intervention for him years ago.
Yeah.
And I told her about it and I said, please don't tell Alex. She goes, well, I'm walking over there right now. I said, don't tell him. 10 minutes later, I get a call. Don't you dare do an intervention.
That was really naive on your part, wasn't it?
Tell her.
Yes, of course.
I thought she would be a part of it.
Well,
I didn't at that time.
Was naive on your part.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Well-intentioned. Interventions are potentially wonderful, effective ways of helping somebody, but they can also blow up if they're not done with really, really careful professional planning. All right. Number 5, what did you write there?
Then my contribution to the original event, trying to make him see me, not his anger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're trying to influence him and manipulate him.
I don't see it, but I believe you.
Yeah, well, you just said it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. I'm just trying to have him see me and what I'm saying from the heart, and not trying. I don't feel like I'm trying to manipulate him, but
I know that.
But I guess I am. So I don't know how to talk to him anymore
That's
at all.
correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Because he's an angry guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's just like his father, who was a very angry guy. So that I feel like I have little chance.
Yeah. Well, that may be true. And you need to accept reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's very hard. Right. Did you write anything else in number 5?
Yeah, I said my current reaction to the person event, I'm stepping away sooner and giving up on what I hoped for. I'm starting to give up.
Okay, but that's not your current responsibility for generating your current resentment. You still are hoping that something will change.
Yeah.
And nothing has changed in years.
Right.
So you're being unrealistic.
Yeah.
The sooner you come to grips with letting him go and detaching from it.
Yeah.
That he may never find his way. And it's not your responsibility to help him at this point.
Yeah, I guess I feel at fault.
Yeah,
Like,
good.
I was trying to do it all. His dad and I split up when he was 2,
Yep.
and he kind of took off, and I worked and raised him. And
There, that's coming. So that's underneath what we're just talking about. I'm feeling guilt for not having been an effective mother.
Mhm.
That's where the anger's coming from.
Mhm.
That's where the resentment's coming from. Yeah, yeah. All right. Skip 6 and 7 and go to 8. Any additional fears?
Will it ever get better between us? Is his life going to be a failure? Will he go into depression and suicide?
Yeah, those are fears.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. And number 9, character defects.
Not being in acceptance, wanting a different scenario that I can control.
Yeah, yeah, right. And unconsciously manipulative.
Mhm. Yeah. So do you think
You are manipulative, and you've said it in this, but you're not even aware of what you're saying out loud right now. Yeah.
I wrote that I can't control. I read it can control, but wanting a different scenario that I can't control.
Yeah, yeah.
But well, that's good to know. I mean, it's good to know that it isn't just him exploding all the time, that I'm doing something that I'm just not in touch with. I feel
But again, don't take responsibility for his anger. Take responsibility for whatever it is that you're doing. But you're not making him angry.
okay.
That's his responsibility.
Yeah.
What did you write for number 10? The benefit of holding this resentment?
I think I answered it wrong. I wrote that I really miss who I thought my son was, and I miss family interactions to feel loved.
Okay. So this is a cover for your grief and sadness. This anger.
Yeah.
Does that work for you? I mean,
I mean, the motive and the benefit is a cover up for my grief and anger.
yeah, yeah. And guilt. You uncovered that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried. I did the best I could. And
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you did actually. Yeah.
I did, but it wasn't good enough.
Well, there takes 2 there, and he's got decisions he makes and actions that he takes that are all on him.
Right.
So at the top, perceived role, you said disrespected and abused mother. What's the truth here? What did you write at realization?
My perceived role.
No, at the bottom, your real role.
Oh, my realization was that I make him my higher power. That like my life isn't going to be okay unless we're okay. I spend a lot of time.
All right. That's where the manipulation comes from.
Okay.
You're not going to be all right unless he's all right. So you're going to try to make him all right.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. You got it.
That's a hard one.
Yeah. Well, the best you can do is pray for the removal of this agitation in you. But more especially, I think it'll be healing for you to pray for him.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
For his healing. Keep it really simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Yeah.
So this, yeah, this is a 3 and 4. And this one, I kind of wanted to run by you because well, so what it is I resent naturally thin women and girls.
Yes.
And the reason I say girls is because,
Un-American.
well, right. Because it's been since when I was 5 and first was a fat kid. Okay.
Yeah,
So
right.
because the reason I do is because they're successful and happy and don't have to diet.
Yeah,
Or follow a food plan.
There's no work involved with it, right? So what's your self-esteem?
I am worthy of respect, not ridicule.
All right, and your fear?
My fear is I'm an outcast.
Read pride, just to see if it expands it a little.
Pride, yeah, I wrote more there. Okay, others should see me. Thin women and girls should treat me as worth being with, beautiful, not to be ridiculed, an equal friend, a member of society. And also, there's something about being able to wear whatever clothes I want.
And look good.
And look good.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Got it. What's your fear there?
I don't belong here.
There you go. Now cross over to the 4th column. What's your perceived role?
My perceived role is the long-suffering outsider.
Okay, nicely done. Yep.
Um,
So when you feel that feeling, even today, how do you behave?
Sometimes I pre-hate them.
Yeah.
I assume they won't like me, so I stay separate.
Mm-hmm.
I remain aloof, or sometimes I try to prove I'm worth something. Like I compulsively show you, yeah, but I can do this, and I'm funny, and I can do that, and all that.
Yeah. You overperform.
I do. Yes.
Yeah, got it.
I'm going to be everyone's favorite. I'm going to make you you're going to be.
I am going to make you.
Yes.
Like you. Yeah, that's wonderful. Good, great insight. Number 2, what is that an unhealthy thinking?
Yeah. So I kept getting confused about which one was which, but I don't try. I prevent looking a fool by not by continuing to hide. So it's sort of not an action, but an action of hiding.
All right.
Or not participating.
Yeah. So the unhealthy thought is if I'm invisible, I won't be criticized.
Yes, or don't even show up. Like,
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So the action, but also I will leave friendships abruptly, like very thin-skinned. I feel like impulsively. I've impulsively left jobs. I've impulsively left friendships.
Yeah.
When I feel slighted.
Yeah. Number 3, dishonest.
Dishonest. And then I decide that my people are cooler anyway. And I changed the story after the fact. Like there was a specific instance where I would say or think that I had been sort of expelled from this group of cool moms. And then I realized, no, I decided they weren't my people and didn't participate.
No, you rejected them before they could reject you.
That's right.
Classic, right? Yeah.
I do that a lot. I think I do that a lot.
Okay, all right. And then you put it on them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I wrote down the word judging as a dishonest in you.
Yeah.
Number 4, fear.
I steer clear to remain safe. Oh, that's not really it, is it? I'm afraid. Well, I'm afraid of looking a fool. I'm afraid of being ridiculed.
Yeah, and not belonging.
Pardon me?
Not belonging.
I'm afraid of not belonging. Yeah.
Number 5.
Okay, so where am I responsible? I remove myself. I don't join perform. So when I was younger, I wanted to be, in the choir or in the play, the theater or the swim team, but I didn't because I just couldn't face being ridiculed. So I remove myself.
Yeah, absolutely. No risk.
Yeah, it's a habit. I mean, it's a whatever. I still do it in spite of, 100 pounds off.
Ridicule, the fear of failure, the fear of being cast out, not belonging to the in group, the cool group, being judged. Yeah. All right, Skip, go ahead.
Oh, well, all I was going to say is I'm a fine artist by trade, which is, solitary work.
It's also very challenging work if you're afraid of not being accepted.
Yes. Yes. Luckily, this Under Earners Anonymous is helping me. I can't even express how much that's changed in the 4 years I've been doing that program. So
wonderful, good.
Yeah. Anyway,
skip 6 and 7 and go to number 8. Additional fears.
I answered that by saying I'm thin-skinned, and I'm not willing to take healthy risks.
Yeah.
So that keeps me from living to my potential.
Yeah. I'm full of fear.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And
Beyond.
Yes. Yeah. You'll explore that when we do the fear inventory. Yep. Number 9, character defects.
Again, as sort of same, thin-skinned, fearful. Oh wait, what's this? Yeah, I also think I'm special and that the rules don't apply to me.
All right. Yep. Number 10, the benefit or value for holding this resentment of long-suffering outsider.
I stay safe if I'm hidden.
I have a delusion that I stay safe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because of course you're not safe there. You're with yourself.
Yeah.
And I guess you judge yourself as harshly as you judge other people.
Yes, I absolutely do.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
The perceived role was long-suffering outsider. What's the truth?
I was looking for a word. I honestly was looking through the dictionary to try and find a word that again, I think it's I'm special. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what this one is.
Well, I think it's really simple. It's not crisp, and it's not necessarily connected to the words that you use, long-suffering outsider, which I think is just a great description of the role at the top. But the words I used at the bottom was fear-based woman.
Yeah.
Because that really nails it, I think. The fear is the core from which everything sprouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Excellent.
Okay.
So as you wrote it out, now as we talked it out, what's your experience with it?
Well, I agree with several people. I took the prayer out, the resentment prayer, and I put it in a plastic sleeve, and I'm going to put it next to my bed and carry it around with me because I can see where that would work because this is a big group of people.
You mean the world?
Basically, most women in the world, so.
Yeah, there's 3.5 billion.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
All right. At least you got a sense of humor about it. That's great. Thank you. Let's pray the Serenity Prayer. It's what can we influence? It's not what can we control. Lose it. The word control doesn't belong in our dictionary. Even our car, we don't control it. We influence it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that cannot change. Courage to change the things I can. And wisdom to know the difference. That's what we want. We want, and we will, and we're getting it as we do this work. Wisdom is that knowledge that comes from experience, that comes in a milieu of prayer. You guys are, and you listen to one another. That was a big shout out tonight from the various parts. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Herb.
Yeah.
Thank you.